Your mom.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
How are you, Bob?
Where are you from?
Chicago.
From Chicago. Well, all right. We have 3 lovely dealers on our show today.
Yeah. Ready to go?
Sure. Let's deal the cards.
Why not?
Cindy, I don't know what you're going to do, but have fun anyway. Okay. What's going to happen over there? Oh, Lacey's going to deal the red cards to a returning champion. Suzanne will deal the blue cards on the lower level to our champion. And while they're doing that, we'll meet our 2 card sharks. Here they come right now. Welcome back, gang.
Thank you.
We're going to pick it up where we left off yesterday. And Frank, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay, I'm originally from Dobbs Ferry, New York. I wait tables at night, and I deliver stripograms during the day.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Where's Dobbs Ferry, New York?
It's in Westchester County.
Okay, let's see, that would be north of Manhattan?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
All right, I know exactly where you're from. Hi, Mary Beth.
Hi, Bob.
How are you today?
I couldn't be better.
Well, good.
My name is Mary Beth Gephardt. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm a cheerleading advisor there at the school where I attend, and I live 5 minutes from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Now, what does a cheerleading advisor do? Advise
Well,
on cheers, I understand.
They help out, the cheerleaders, saying criticize them, just plain old criticize. But I had a good group. I mean, I couldn't criticize.
I'm glad I asked you that question. Yeah, really?
So why?
Did you cut the cards? All right, fine. Then Lacey's dealt out the cards. We're picking up where we left off yesterday. As you can see, Frank has a slight lead in the game, and this is game number 1, and we're ready with our second high-low question. Remember, first player to win two games wins the championship, goes on to play the big money cards. Question goes to Mary Beth. Here we are. We surveyed 100 men, and we asked them, is your best friend a woman? How many men said their best friend is a woman?
Well, I can't. Well, I'm not a man, but I'm a woman, and I can say that my best friend is a man. And it's great. They're the opposite sex, so they can criticize you if you're looking good or criticize you if you're looking bad.
There's a lot of criticism in your life, isn't there?
There sure is.
Yes.
But I think that a man's going to want a woman to be a friend.
So how many men said their best friend is a woman?
I would say it's going to be a mediocre number, about 62.
62 out of 100. Frank, what do you think about this one? Higher or lower?
Most of my best friends are women, and I like it that way. However, I do have a lot of male friends also. I'm just going to say the number's just a little lower, however.
You think it's going to be lower than
just
62?
Lower than 62?
Okay.
Yeah.
The actual number of men who said their best friend is a woman is 67. Well, not lower, but it was higher. That means that Mary Beth, you have control of the cards, and now you got to do some catching up, my dear. You can change this card because you won the high-low question. It's a king.
I'm going to keep that. I'm going to go lower.
Lower than the king. It is an 8. Now what?
I'm freezing.
Freeze on that 8. Yes, the strategy there, freeze on the 8, keeps Frank away from the cards. If she wins the next high-low question, she'll have a chance to change that 8. Let's see if you do win it. Frank, we surveyed 100 people. We asked them, should consenting adults be allowed to do anything they want in the privacy of their own bedroom? How many people said consenting adults should be allowed to do anything they want?
Oh, short of killing each other, yeah. I mean, consenting adults. They have the knowledge and they have the experience behind them to do whatever they want, and they're in the privacy of their own home. I say, yeah, they should be able to do whatever they want, and I say it's going to be a pretty high number.
What do you think?
I'm going to say 78.
78 out of 100. Mary Beth, what do you think?
I agree with him 100%. It is the privacy of their home. Legal or not legal, they should be able to do what they want. But I'm going to think it's going to be just a tad bit lower.
Even if something's illegal, they should be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody
Really?
else
Now,
is
I just want to make
around.
sure you understand the question. How many people said consenting adults should be allowed to do anything they want?
Yeah, I'm going to go lower.
You're going to go lower than the 78. All right. Just want to make sure you understand the actual number of people who said consenting adults should be allowed to do anything they want is 94. Was it lower? It was higher. All right, Frank, you froze in the 10. You want to change it?
Get rid of the 10.
Let's get rid of the 10. 10 now becomes a 6.
All right, I'm going to go higher than the 6.
Higher than the
Higher
6.
than the
Your
6.
card is a 5. That means that, Mary Beth, you get a free turn on the cards, and you have to play off
I'm
the 8.
going to go lower.
Lower than the 8?
Lower.
It is no, not lower than the 8. It's an 8, and so we're still tied up. And that means it's sudden death time. This is the 4th question in this game. Someone must win the game on this play of the cards, and control of the board is very important. For you, Mary Beth, we surveyed 100 men who are serving time in prison, and we asked them, are you going to go straight when you get out? How many inmates claim they are going to go straight?
Bob, I think they're just going to say they're going to go straight, because who's not going to say they're going to go straight to a parole officer or something like that? Because they don't want to be in, they want to be out. But once they get out there, the question is, will they? So I'm going to say it's a mediocre number, about 43.
43 out of 100 inmates claim that they're going to go straight. Frank, higher or lower than 43?
The intentions are to go straight. That's what it's all about. You're going into... You want to make right for what you did wrong. So all your intentions are to go straight. And I'm going to say, I would ordinarily say lower, but I'm going to say higher than the number she chose.
You think it's going to be higher than the 43? The actual number of inmates who claim they're going to go straight is 83. It was considerably higher. All right, now, here are your choices. Frank, is sudden death time. You've got two choices. You can change the 6 and play it out. If you make a mistake, though, Mary Beth wins the game. Or you can pass it on to her. She must play off the 8. If she goofs, you win the game.
Mary Beth and I have become good friends, so I'm going to let her play them.
Going to pass it on to Mary Beth. All right, Mary Beth, you got to play off the 8. Here we go. Lower than the 8. Your card is the queen, and that means that Frank, you win the first game in this match.
What an audience.
$100 in your pocket. Frank, you win the first game. Got to win 2 games to win the championship. Mary Beth is going to try to win the second game. And we will start that second game when we come back right after this. We're in the middle of a match between Frank and Mary Beth. Frank wins game number 1. First player to win 2 games, then is our champion. So, Mary Beth, you got to win this game.
You're
Stay
right.
in. Frank, here's your first question. We surveyed 100 psychiatrists, and we asked them, generally speaking, do you think magazines like Playboy lead men to expect too much physical perfection in the women they date? How many psychiatrists said yes, girly magazines cause men to expect too much physical perfection?
I don't think many psychiatrists are going to say that magazine causes that particular problem. There are some beautiful bodies out there. The job of that magazine is to show them. I don't think it's going to alter the man's mind in one way or the other. So I'm going to say it's a pretty low number. I'm going to say 23.
23 out of 100. What do you think about this, Mary Beth?
My sister's a psychologist, and I feel that what she had told me that men just look at him to look at him, and they get their satisfaction, but they're not going to really do anything with the other women. Just look at the picture.
Just look at the old picture.
So I'm going to think, even though it is a low number, I'm going to go just a tad bit higher, though.
A little bit higher than that.
Just a little bit.
The actual number of psychiatrists who said girly magazines cause men to expect too much physical perfection is 42. You're right, Mary Beth. It was higher.
Yeah.
All right, Mary Beth, let's see how well you do. Remember, you can change this card. It's a 3.
He's not going to go higher.
Higher than the 3. Got a 9 for you. Player freeze. Freeze on the 9? No, she'll stay right there. It keeps Frank away from the cards, and we'll go to another question. This one is for you, Mary Beth.
Okie doke.
We surveyed 100 women who are engaged to be married. We asked them, if your fiancé asked you to sign an agreement stating you would not get any of his property in a divorce, would you do it?
That's funny.
How many engaged women said that they would sign the agreement?
Well, I was in a situation like that just recently. And
Did you sign?
I didn't get that far. And not to change the subject,
Yes,
but
I
I think that women are going to feel like, hey, if he loves me enough to marry me, then why sign the piece of paper? Because that's a lifelong commitment. There's going to be something the matter with me if I sign that paper. So I don't think women are going to sign that paper. So
You don't think so?
Nope.
So how many out of 100 engaged women said they would sign the agreement?
I think it's going to be a fairly low number. I'd say 17.
17 out of 100. Frank, higher or lower than that?
Well, speaking from a moral standpoint of view, I would say that it was lower. But if I'm not going to go on a morals point of view, I'm going to say it's a little bit higher than that.
I think it'll be higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think prenuptial agreements really are not valid. I really don't like them at all. The actual, however, the actual number of engaged women who would sign the agreement is 36. It was higher. Frank, now's your chance to play. Here's a deuce for you. Higher than the deuce. Your card is a 4. Higher than the 4. It's an 8. Freeze on the 8. Okay, and again, he'll use the same strategy that Mary Beth used. Keep the opponent away from the cards. Next question for you. For you, Frank, we surveyed 100 women, and we asked them, the first time you ever had sex, did you enjoy it? How many women said they did enjoy it?
Boy, that's a good question.
Thank you very much.
Bob, to tell you the
I
truth,
didn't write this one.
To tell you the truth, with one girlfriend of mine, she was so tense.
Don't tell me the truth, Frank. Just answer the question.
I do not think she really enjoyed it until a certain point.
Frank, how many out of 100?
I'm gonna say Wow, it was a tough situation.
Frank, I don't want to know your problems, okay?
How many enjoyed? I'm going to say it's a low number for the first time, and I don't want to go too low because
of course
I'm
not.
going to be
Yeah.
thinking
How
about
many
what
though,
she's
Frank?
thinking. I talk a little too much sometimes. 25.
That was your problem on the first time. You talked too much. Mary Beth, he says 25.
I've never been in that situation. I wouldn't know if I would enjoy it or not. So,
Are you bragging or complaining, Mary Beth?
I don't know, Bob.
I see.
But from what I've heard, I think that they enjoy the moment, but maybe the next day or so that they really regretted it.
He said 25 out of 100 women said they did enjoy it. Do you think the actual number would be higher or lower than that?
Did enjoy it? I'm going to say that it's a tad bit higher.
A tad higher. The actual number of women who said they enjoyed sex the first time is 42. It was higher. All right, Mary Beth, you froze on the 9. Change the 9.
Please.
The 9 now becomes a 10.
I'm going lower.
Lower than the 10.
Lower.
Your card is a 5.
Higher.
Higher than the 5. Deuce. No. That means you go back to the 10. And Frank, you get to play the cards off of the 8.
I'm going to go high. I'm going to go higher than the 8.
Higher than the 8. Your card is a 4. Again, didn't work. So we will pause for these words, and we'll be back with sudden death on Card Shark right after this. Number 1, Mary Beth and Frank are 2 contestants. Sudden death time. Fourth and final question in this game. Someone must win the game on this play of the cards. Control is extremely important. The question goes to Mary Beth. Mary Beth, we surveyed 100 single women, and we asked them, when you go to your girlfriend's weddings, are you secretly jealous? How many single women admitted that going to their girlfriend's weddings makes them jealous?
Since I'm single and I've been to a few weddings this summer, I was sort of jealous because they looked so radiant and they seemed so happy. They were so excited. And ultimately, that's where they wanted to be in life. So I say it's going to be a pretty high number. I'm going to say about 63.
63 out of 100 women said that they were jealous. Frank, higher or lower than 63?
It's funny. It could be your best friend. Your best friend in the whole world, and she still have a little jealousy because she'd like to be in your shoes, in your white wedding shoes. Not yours, Bob.
Thank you.
Anyway, well, I'd like to be in yours. But anyway, I'm saying it's going to be a high number. I'm going to say just a little higher than what
you think it'll be a little higher than what Mary Beth said? All right. The actual number of single women who are jealous at their girlfriend's weddings is 25. Not higher, it was lower. All right, remember, this is sudden death. Now, Mary Beth, you have 2 choices. You can change the 10 or play the 10. Played out. If you goof, Frank wins the game and the championship. Or you could pass it on to Frank. He must play off the 8. If he goofs, you win the game.
Bob, my luck has been so bad. It's his.
You're going to pass it on to Frank. All right, Frank, playing off the 8. Here we go.
Bob, I'm going to go higher than the 8.
Higher than the 8. Your card is a king.
Lower.
Lower than the king for the championship. Yeah! Congratulations to you, Frank. All right. Well, Mary Beth, doggone, you didn't win any money, but we have some very nice prizes for you. Thank you very much. We hope you had a good time.
I had a great time.
I hope you did. We'll see you again. All right. Come here, Frank. Right over here. Congratulations to you. You have done it, my friend. Step right up here to the green mark.
Thank you.
See that right there. Don't move off that.
I will not.
All right, you got $200, and now you have a chance to win a lot more money, as you probably know, because here comes Susanna and Lacey, and they have a deck of cards that you cut before we went on the show. And now we're time to play the big money cards. Here's how we do it. The money you've won so far, yours to keep, but now we're going to give you new money, and we'll start you off on the bottom line with $200. What you have to do is bet your way across that line by calling off high and low. When you get to the second line, we'll give you another $400. And again, you bet your way across the line, again, calling off high and low. Keeping in mind that minimum bets are $50 each time. Till you get to the top row up there, that time you must bet at least half of your dollars. Also, another advantage you have a chance to change 1 card per line by choosing one of the spare cards that Susanna is dealing out. So good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Give him $200. And here we go. Let's see how well you do, Frank. The $200 could turn into $32,000. Will it? Let's see. It's a 6. What do you want to do?
Let me change it right off the bat.
Which one you want?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Number 2, please.
Number 2. You're going to change the 6. The 6 now becomes a 10.
Okay. I'm going to take
$200.
$50 lower than the 10.
$50 lower than the 10. Your card's a 7. It is lower, $250.
$50 higher than the 7.
$50 higher than the 7. It's a 7. Push. It's okay. No win, no loss.
Okay.
The big money card.
Another $50 higher than the 7.
$50 higher than the 7 again. It's a king. Good for you. Now, $300. Come up here, we give you another $400.
I'm going to
king
keep
is
the
your
card
base.
and go all of it lower.
All of it lower than the king. No! And that means you bust right there on the big money card. That's the first time that's happened in a long time.
I still get to play again, though.
You still get to play again. You still have $200, and we'll meet a new challenger for Frank when we come back right after this.
The winner of
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Bob.
Very quickly, why don't you tell us about yourself?
I'm Susan McClune. I'm an attorney. I'm here from Denver, Colorado.
Well, great. What kind of attorney are you?
I do securities and municipal finance.
Oh, I should have known that. Heck, I wish I had some questions to ask you about that, but I don't make any money, so it's all right. Welcome to our show. Did you cut the cards?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. Then Lacey's dealing out those cards from that deck, and we're ready to start this game. Got to win 2 games in order to play the big money cards. Let's begin the match right now. Frank, for you. Okay. We surveyed 100 people who have been fired from a job, and we asked them, did you deserve to be fired? How many people admitted they did deserve it?
Gosh, I don't think too many people are going to admit that they deserve to be fired. I mean, no, not me. I didn't do it, or I shouldn't have been fired. You know, they were wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm going to say a lot of them, most of them, did not think they should have been fired. Did not think they deserved it. So I think it's going to be around, how many would admit that? 18.
18 out of 100.
18.
Susan, will it be higher or lower than that?
Ooh, I agree with Frank. That's going to be a very low number, but I think a few more people than that are going to be willing to admit that maybe they weren't all in the right. That number is going to be a little bit higher.
A little higher, you think? Well, the actual number of people who said they deserve to be fired from their job is 22. You're right, it was higher, Susan. All right, by winning the question, you get a chance to change this card if you'd like to do so. And here is that card. It's a 7.
I want to change that card.
Yeah, dirty, rotten 07. There's a 6 for you, not much better.
Let's go higher.
Higher than the 6, it is a queen.
Nice. Let's go lower.
Lower than the queen, 8. Now what will you do?
I'm going to freeze there, Bob.
You're a good, logical decision. Freeze right there. Frank doesn't get a chance to play the cards. And I've got a question for you, Susan. Susan, we surveyed 100 women, and we asked them, have you ever written a check that you knew was for money that you had, have you ever written a check that you knew was for more money than you had in your account?
Ooh,
Made me nervous to say it. That's why I stumbled. How many women admitted that they have written a check they knew was bad?
Well, I'm a woman, and I'm afraid I'll have to admit I've done that more than once. I think that's going to be a relatively high number. I'll say 68.
68 out of 100. Frank, what do you think about this?
It's funny because constantly I hear of people who say they've written checks and they're going to scurry to the bank now to put the money in, knowing that the money's not there.
Right.
So I'm going to say it's a little higher than that also.
Actual number of women who have written a check that they knew was bad is 44. It wasn't higher, it was lower. Frank says they lied. All right, Susan, you froze on the 8. Now you can change it.
I'd like to change that card.
Why not? Because the 8 will now be a 9.
Ooh, tough card. Go lower with
Lower
that 9.
than the 9. Your card is a queen. Nope. All right, Frank, that means you get a free run on these cards. And you got to play off this one. It's a king.
Good card. Lower than the king.
Lower than the king. Your card's a queen.
Lower than the queen.
Lower than the queen. King. Wow. What tough cards these are. Next question. Here we are. This is for you, Frank. We surveyed 100 married men, and we asked them, if a dozen roses arrived for your wife while she was out, would you open the card to see who sent them? How many married men said that they would open the card?
I don't think I have the right to open the card, but I'd open it anyway. So I'm going to say it's a, I would open it. It's pretty,
would you really?
Yeah, I would open it. I would. I'm curious. I'd say 40, though.
40 out of 100. Yeah. Susan, what do you think?
I'm afraid that I think, although they'd like to say they wouldn't, that more men probably would. I think that number's going to be just a little bit higher.
I think it'll be higher. Oh, I would not open that card. I wouldn't want to know. The actual number of married men who would open the card is 56. Yes, it was higher. All right, Susan, again, you got a 9 this time.
Let's change that card again, Bob.
You're slowly working your way across the board. The 9's now a 6.
Let's go higher.
Higher than the 6. It's a 3. Oh, what bad luck. Boy. All right, Frank.
Okay, let's play it lower than the king.
Lower than the king. Your card is the king. Boom. Well, that was fast, wasn't it? We're going to pause with these words, and we'll be right back with more Card Sharks. Sudden death time coming up in a minute. For us to go, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Some of our